Students, today we are going to start our geography chapter number 2, land, soil, water, natural vegetation and wildlife resources. Right? In this particular chapter is divided into 5 parts wherein we are going to cover the natural resources in different categories. Day 1, this is day 1, and today we will cover totally about the land, its uses, how land is used as a resource, what are the uses of the different uses of the land, what are the factors of land use, how the land is classified, and what factors are leading to its deterioration, and how we can conserve the land as a resource. Similarly, after covering the land, we will be covering the same topics about the soil, then same topics, how water as a resource, what are the uses of the water, what are the factors of the water use, how the water is deteriorating nowadays, and how we can conserve the water. Similarly, in the case of natural vegetation and wildlife resources. So entire chapter is moving around certain reasons, certain effects, certain factors of its use, and how it is being deteriorated, and how we can conserve such type of resources. Right? Students, as a introduction, I would like to discuss one example with you. Suppose you are living in the plain area, and your friend lives in a mountainous area. This is you, right? Right now, depending upon the weather condition, there is a time to use the ACs in our home. We are wearing cotton clothes. We are eating cool items. Ice cream is on the peak, right? And accordingly, whereas at the same time your friend is living in a mountainous area, and at the same time there is even not need to use the fans, no need of using the fans. They are wearing woolen clothes, maybe the light one, but still in the mountainous area the people are wearing light woolen clothes. The still hot items are desirable. You also remember, if you go to visit the particular mountainous area in your summer break or in any other time, so preferably we prefer to have the hot items over there because of the climatic condition. So at the same time, my purpose to tell you, to discuss this example with you, to tell about that at the same time why there is a difference between the two places. Why there is a difference between the two places? Yes, the availability of these resources is the main reason why places differ from each other. So all it depends upon the availability of the natural resources. What kind of land is there at the two places, what is the quality of the soil, what is the water availability, which type of natural vegetation is growing in the plain area as well as in the mountainous area, and what are the wildlife resources. So clearly we can come to the conclusion as a part of the introduction. Yes, the two places differ because of the availability of the natural resources, right? So our introduction part is covered why there is a difference between the two places in the same season. So let's move towards our second topic, land as a resource. So students, all of us knows that land is a important resource as 30% of the earth area is covered with the land. Moreover, it is actually a solid portion of the surface of the earth, and it is a free gift of the nature. All of us knows it is a free gift of the nature. It supports life. Many of the activities are related to land only. The farmers, as a human being, whatever they are growing into the land only, right? And what is its nature? From the previous chapter I told you one term was there, ubiquitous. Ubiquitous. So students, tell me, what is the meaning of ubiquitous? Yes, the particular resource which is commonly found everywhere, universally found, which is present universally, right? Then again, what can be another quality of the land? As a development of human civilization, it is again leading to as a development of human civilization, one of the reason of development of human civilization. So these are the features of the land as a resource. Now what are the uses of land? In how many ways the land can be used? Students, this is a very easy topic, as land can be used in many ways, right? First prime use of the land is for farming, for the agricultural activities we are using the land. Without the use of land we cannot get the crops as well, right? Then again it is used for animal grazing in the form of grasses, right? Animals are again not only the human being, but the animals are also surviving on the land for grazing. Then it is again, land is used for mining purposes also. Land is used for construction of roads, railways, right? Whatever the industries we are having, again these are constructed on the land area only, right? So in totality these are the uses of the land. Let us come to our next topic, factors of land use. What are the factors? See, the use of land in any areas is influenced by a variety of physical, economic and cultural factors. Now what are those factors? The use of land depends upon the slope of the land. What is the slope of the land? In plain area, the surface of the land is plain, but in the mountainous area there are steep slopes, and accordingly we do which type of farming over there, students? Yes, your guess is right. In mountainous area we do the step farming, right? Then it again depends upon the availability of water. The use of land depends upon the availability of the water. See, in deserts, if you remember, there is a lot of land area, but that land area is not suitable for the agricultural purposes. Because why? Because there is a very less water available over there, right? There is a shortage of the water in the desert area. So again, land is there, but they are not using much of the land for the agricultural purposes. Then land use depends upon the climatic condition. At different places, climatic conditions are different. Suppose in mountainous area the weather is very much cold, whereas in the plain areas, in the northern plain areas, right now the weather is very hot, right? So depending upon the climatic condition, we use the land, right? Then next is the availability of the minerals. The area where the minerals are present much in the quantity, the particular land will be more usable. Then the areas where the minerals are not much present, then the particular land will not be able to much in use, right? So again, the use of the land also depends lastly on the level of technology, right? If the level of technology, suppose the same land is there, and if we are using the traditional methods of farming, right? So with the help of same land we will be able to have the less crops, whereas if the level of technology is high, then with the same kind of land, with the modern methods, we will be able to produce more. So these are in totality the factors of the land use. These are the factors upon which the use of the land depends. So students, I hope till yet these topics we have covered: the introduction, the land resources, what are the different uses of the land, and factors affecting the land use. We are moving towards our next topic. Classification of lands means how many types of land is available. So as far as the classification of the land on the basis of ownership is concerned, there are two type of land: private land and the community land, right? Now students, I hope the meaning private is very much clear to you. What is the meaning of private land? Suppose the house in which you are living, right? Your father, suppose if your father is a farmer, then the land on which he is doing or growing the crops belongs to him only, right? So private land is a land which is owned by individual, right? Ownership of a one person only, right? Whereas the community land, suppose you are living in a society, and in the particular society there is a community hall, there is a public park, there is a temple, right? So these are the lands over which the ownership is not of a individual, rather ownership is of a community as a whole, right? So what is the community land? Community land is owned by the whole society. It is owned by the whole society, right? So in villages, private land is used for growing crops, and other type of activities such as running a small scale manufacturing unit or building a house, right? Whereas the community land in villages is used for animal grazing, right? So or in urban areas, these two type of example I have taken in case if the private land or the community land is available in rural areas. Suppose in urban areas the same private land can be used for a factory, house, right? Community land can be used for the recreational activities, right? For example, public parks are there, temples are there, government schools are there, right? So I hope the topic is clear. What is the classification on the basis of ownership? How the land is classified into two parts, private land and community land, right? So students, let us move towards our next topic, the changes in land use, or we can say the deterioration of land. Deterioration means decreasing the quality of the land. So in this particular topic, we will come to know about how the land is deteriorating, how the quality of the land is decreasing day by day. So students, when we talk about the decrease in the quality of the land, immediately the major reason, one of the foremost major reason comes in our mind is the population increasing. All of us knows population is increasing at an alarming rate, and whatever the increase is happening in the population, in order to satisfy their food need, in order to satisfy their shelter need, in order to satisfy their all type of needs, the ultimate burden is coming on the land, because population is increasing, then food demand will increase. If food demand will increase, then farmer again will put more pressure on the land to grow the crops. In this way, the farmer will use the chemical fertilizers, and he will use the pesticides also, and in this way the quality of the land will decrease, right? So foremost reason of increasing decreasing the quality of the land is population increasing. Then next is urbanization, right? People are moving from the rural areas to the urban areas, and they are again searching for the shelters, and again for the shelter they require the land, and in this way the urbanization also is leading to the deterioration of the land, right? So we are looking, the pattern of the land use has changed due to the growing population. Many forests have been cleared. So again, the forest which deforestation, all of you know what is the meaning of deforestation. So what is the meaning of deforestation? Cutting down the trees, reckless cutting down of the trees for satisfying the needs of the increasing population is known as the deforestation. Many forests have been cleared to increase the land under the cultivation. Similarly, in villages which are near cities, cropland has been converted into residential areas. Cropland is being converted into residential areas under the process of urbanization. So the cropland which is being converted into the residential areas, so in this way the many new township has been emerged in these areas, and which is decreasing the land size which was earlier under the use of agricultural purposes, right? So many factories also have been set up. Many factories also have been set up, and for setting up the factories we are using again the land area which was earlier under the use of the agricultural purposes and other recreational purposes. So all such type of activities are leading to the land degradation. All such type of activities are leading to the land degradation. What is the meaning of degradation? Anything which is decreasing the quality of the particular resource. Anything which is decreasing the quality of particular resource, right? So this is also known as, all such type of activities are leading to the land degradation. So I hope the particular topic, land degradation, the topic changes in the land use or deterioration of the land is very much clear to you. These are the very simple points which I have discussed over here, and I hope all these points are clear to you. Let us move towards our last topic of the day, is conservation of land. So students, as we have covered the topic that the land is deteriorate under the quality of the land is decreasing day by day. The different type of land uses which have changed over a period of time is leading to the deterioration of land, and in this way ultimately land degradation is going on. So our ultimate immediate concern is to conserve the particular resource as it is a natural resource. We cannot generate the particular natural resource because we have received as a free gift of nature from the God. So it's our duty, since whatever the activities we are doing, whether these are the food activities, whether these are the shelter activities, whatever the activities we are, ultimately we are receiving it from the land only. So it is our responsibility as a human being to save the land as a natural resource, not only for our use but for the upcoming generations. From the previous chapter we came to know about the two terms, conservation and sustainable development. If you remember, I told you that there is a difference between the conservation and the sustainable development. Conservation means when we are vigilant enough for using the particular resources, looking at the present needs only. But in sustainable development, not only we economically use the particular resource for fulfilling the present needs, but in sustainable development we also take into consideration the future generation needs as well, right? As well. So over here, how we can, students, after studying the entire topics, tell me what are the suggestions which are coming in your mind to conserve the land as a resource. So immediately the first ever idea which comes in our mind is afforestation. Yes, this is the ultimate solution to the problem. Grow as much trees as you can right now in the schools or from your grandparents, especially on your birthdays. They suggest you to grow a tree at least. If all of us will grow tree on our birthdays or on any other special occasions, so we are many more in number. We are number 2 as far as the population of our country is concerned, and we are coming after the China. So if each and every person will grow at least one tree once in a year on his birthdays, so ultimately the number of so many trees will grow, and this will save our which resource? Land as a resource. Second thing, we can also do the minimal use of the fertilizers because I again in the same class today only I told you that increasing population forces the farmer to grow more and more, because this is the only way by which the farmer can increase its produce. Because we cannot see, suppose the land size is this much only, we cannot put the seeds and let the land will grow. This will not happen at all. In India or wherever throughout the world, there are no seeds of growing the lands. So ultimately our land area will remain same. But if on the same piece of land, if we will keep on putting the so too many quantity of the fertilizers as well as of the pesticides, then ultimately what will happen, the quality of the land will definitely decrease. So my concern is to use minimum to minimum use of the fertilizers and pesticides, right? Then the if animals are, suppose animals are again depending upon the grazing only. If overgrazing of the land is there, then also it will lead to the deterioration of the land. So we should keep a check on the animal grazing. It should not be overgrazing at all. Then again we should keep a check on the forest burning, because again if we will keep on burning the forest, what will happen, ultimately the land area in the form of forest will decrease, and ultimately it will lead to the deterioration of the land use as well. So again there is a need to put a check on the forest burning as well. And lastly, whatever the reclamation activities, whatever the reclamation activities, whatever the recreational activities, suppose lots of buildings are being constructed, public parks, temples. So whatever the agricultural land, we are converting it into the recreational activities land. So ultimately we are decreasing the land size in the form of agriculture, and in this way the quality of the land will definitely deteriorate. So students, we lastly we studied about the what are the different ways of conserving the land, because it is the ultimate need of the today's situation. Population is increasing and burden on the land which is a natural resource, too much burden has come on the land, and the uses of the land has now changed into new ways. And in order to save the land, there is a need to have a look on the methods how we can conserve the land. So that's all about the today's topic. I hope all the topics are clear to you. Let's have a recapitulation whatever we have covered in this particular class. Students, we started the chapter, we covered about the introduction, then we studied about the land as a resources, then what are the different uses of land, then what are the factors which is leading to the land use, upon which factors the land use is dependent, then how the land is classified, into two category, private land and community land, and how the private land is used and how the community land is used. Then we also did the changes in the land use, or we can say the how the quality of the land is decreasing day by day. Then we covered certain reasons why the land is leading to the degradation. Then we in the last then we did about the conservation of the land, which is really very important topic. There is a need to conserve the land, and under this we covered many methods, or I gave to you many suggestions through which we can save the land as a resource. In our next class, we will be covering our second natural resource, the soil, and I will discuss with you the introduction of the soil, then how we can save, how we are using the soil as a resource, what are the uses of the soil, then different factors which is leading to the soil use, and then we will do some methods in order to save the soil. So I hope the topic is clear to you. We will be meeting in our next class with the new topics of the same chapter. Till then, take care. Bye bye.